Hey everybody, if it's your first time here, welcome. If it's not, thanks for coming back. Today we're going to cover another topic related to Artlanta. I didn't want to make more videos about him, but people have asked, more evidence and more stuff has come forward. Let's talk about it. When I first started looking into Artlanta and the art scams, what I got asked the most was, what's the deal with the cars? Are the cars a scam? As you all know, Artlanta is a fake famous artist, in my opinion. Again, this is all my opinions. A fake artist who paints exotic luxury cars, very expensive cars owned by very wealthy people, or maybe not wealthy people, who knows, because so many people fake it.
I'm charging $20K to paint a car, $30K, and it's just going out the roof. How'd that come about? It just happened. I did an art exhibition in Miami last December. Homie calls me, he's like, yo, Artlanta, you wanna paint my Lamborghini? I'm like, hell yeah. But I'm like, yo, I don't know what to do. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just throw paint on it. We have the show, I start throwing the paint on there. Everybody's loving this guy that was there. He's 6ix9ine's jeweler. He's like, yo, I love it. And then he calls me a month later. I have 6ix9ine on the phone, yo. And 6ix9ine's like, yo, Artlanta, I want you to paint all my cars. Just went viral.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
I got asked about most was, are the cars a scam? At first, I didn't really care to look into it. I really just wanted to get justice for the artist. The more people that came forward after the first video came out, I was able to get a lot more information, and now we have some hard proof. I think some people may have paid or had him paint the cars for free and felt like they got a good deal out of it. It's one of those situations where you might not realize it's a scam until probably years later. In my opinion, are the cars a scam? Some of them are. Just because maybe some of the deals apparently went okay, he definitely scammed people who he painted cars for. The first example I want to use, a lot of people ask me about this, is what about 6ix9ine's cars? There's a rapper by the name of 6ix9ine, and he had a bunch of cars that Artlanta did paint for him. 2 of these cars specifically that I was able to confirm were actually painted by Artlanta. A green Bentley and a Lambo Urus ended up going to auction. The things that I want to go through to debunk whether or not this is a scam: were the car owners happy? Did their cars appreciate in value? And were they worth anything? Were people able to sell them? What ended up happening was 6ix9ine got into a bunch of legal trouble. And you can look into this yourself. There were taxes that he wasn't paying, but the main thing I was able to find was a multi-million-dollar suit. 6ix9ine was in a club or a venue somewhere where there were female performers, and he threw a glass bottle which hit someone and caused them severe head injuries. So he owed this person $7, $8, $9 million, something like that. I'll pull it up here.
Great guy. Oh, great guy.
He was taken to court and sued because they needed to recover money so that he could pay for this woman to have medical care. His assets got seized. Things that he had of value in his name, they could hold on to for the court case in the event that the other person won the lawsuit, which they did. They seize his assets and auction them off so that there's money to give to that victim. Think about how people like to say you are who you surround yourself with, or, you know, if you're next to a rotten fruit, you're going to rot too. Good example of this. These are the types of people that Artlanta hangs out with and the type of people that vouch for him. When people are like, oh, they're celebrities and he painted 6ix9ine's car, and they put value on that. If you want to support that and you want to be fans of that, that's up to you. But it's important to know why these cars got seized in the first place. Artlanta likes to claim himself, we will show a clip of him saying it in his own words, that when he paints a car, it's permanent and it doubles in value. Now, a lot of the cars he painted were wrapped, so he's not painting directly on the paint. If you know about cars, you know what I'm talking about. These cars ended up going to auction. His green Bentley, according to the website, the windshield and both sides of the window had damage and needed to be replaced. The convertible top had tears and it would need to be replaced. We'll factor in that there was damage to this car. It only sold at auction for $85,000, which is not double in value. It's not even close to double in value, even with the paint job. And I still was not able to find out where this car was to this day. 30 bidders went head to head for this car, 49,000 miles on it in good condition. It was a 2017 Bentley GT Speed. The information on the Urus, one of the cars, a 2019 Lamborghini Urus, was auctioned off by the federal government for $175,000 on Tuesday. Also, not double in value. This ended up being bought by a dealership in Detroit. They made a bunch of content. They had an overwhelming negative reaction on their social media on the videos they made about this. They did reply to me because I asked where the car currently was, and they said they were able to sell it. I wasn't able to confirm how much they sold it for, but on their dealership site, they did have a listing for the car at $199K. It was marked sold. I'm gonna guess they sold it for around that, but again, proof that his paint job did not double this car in value. I just want to go through a little bit of the content. Here it says, we got Takeshi 69's Lamborghini Urus and we plan on doing something mind-blowing with it. I don't know what that was. I asked, I looked for information to see what this mind-blowing presentation was on this car. I think they were just exploiting this to make content and get more eyes on their dealership and get people to come in. Maybe they did some kind of event. Dealerships do that a lot. I wasn't able to find out. Some of these captions, they're saying things like, this beautiful masterpiece previously owned by the one and only 6'9" and is now available at Twins Auto Sales. Talk about a paint job. Well, yeah, we're definitely talking about it. I don't think it's going the way that they thought. They sold the car, they're done with this. But it's interesting to see dealerships and companies like this supporting this, trying to monetize it as much as they can, even though people in the comments are trying to make them aware of like what they're supporting. But you know, a lot of businesses don't have a problem with this. There's business, there's pleasure. They don't care about the personal things behind it. They just want to make as much money as they can. And so, of course, here they are. I'm not surprised. If it was my business or my dealership, I personally would never buy his car and try to resell it or be proud that my dealership had this on the lot. I'm reading through an article right now by roadandtrack.com. It's talking about both of the cars. Interested in owning one of these? What about an unusual wrap that looks custom? Both vehicles were taken from the Florida home of 6'9", aka Daniel Hernandez, on April 17th. Multiple luxury cars were taken from his residence, but so far the Lambo and the Bentley are the only ones that have been posted for auction. That's strange. Why just those? The auction process for both listings is fully online and will start the morning of July 8th, closing July 23rd. That's July 23rd, and we see videos from Twins Auto being published into November. So I don't know how long they had the car, but July to November. I grew up with a family that ran car dealerships and I worked there in high school. I've never seen it take that long for such a high prestigious luxury car to be sold. They held on to that for months. Nobody was jumping to buy it for double. Let's watch this video they posted.
I'm co-founder of Twins Auto Sales. We're located in Detroit, Michigan. We have here today 6'9's Lamborghini Urus designed by the famous Artlanta. You can't find this anywhere. Look who's calling me.
They're trying to pretend
we're here.
that it's 6'9", calling about the car.
What's going on? Yeah, we picked up a vehicle from the government auction. You want it? Okay, yeah. But I got a partner in this, my twin brother. You got to discuss it with him. You can talk to him. He's going to give you a better deal than me. Takashi's on the phone. Takashi, the price is $350, bro. We ain't taking nothing less. $350 is $350. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's.
That's enough of that. I can't. And then when people like to say today's price is not yesterday's price, okay, enough.
I'm gonna open up the hood. I'm gonna see if we can find something inside. Doesn't look like he stashed anything in here. There it is, jackpot, baby, jackpot. Here it is, baby.
Just pretending to find money in the car.
You're not getting this from me. I'm keeping this. This is mine. Comment below. Let us know what you would like us to do next with this vehicle.
This content is subpar, in my opinion. It's not entertaining. I'm not sucked into it. And I am a car person. But this is, no, like really trying to make this thirst content. But he's like really, really struggling to make it interesting and to sell this car. I'm surprised it took that long. And the car looks like it's in very good shape. Next vehicle I want to talk about is owned by someone who goes by Mack. I didn't poke too much at him because when people have a personal relationship, I just wanted a little bit of facts and he gave me what I wanted. But this is the car. It's an older white Lambo, painted it lime green at one of the Art Beast events. This screenshot right here from a video says POV. I paid a famous artist to paint my $400,000 Lambo. I wasn't able to confirm with T-Mac that he paid anything. We'll go through the screenshots of him and I talking and we'll see what he said about his car. I want to look at this closely and show you guys what I noticed. A picture from another user on Instagram, and it's a close-up shot of the Lamborghini emblem on the car, but you can see in the corner the green paint. The paint does look like it's dry, but it's bubbling. and it's bubbles that look like they've bubbled but haven't popped yet. Indicates that maybe this car was not kept somewhere where it was climate controlled. Maybe it wasn't in a garage. Maybe it spent a week or two outside. This is a car that's in Florida, so this would happen. Look at that paint job. Does that look like that's gonna double a $400,000 car in value? I don't know. We're gonna go through the conversations that I have with T-Mac. I said, let's chat. I'd like to get a statement from you. He said, don't have anything bad to say currently. He painted my car at his last Art Basel event. I knew him before he did art. Back when he was doing music only as Wave Pop with his brothers, he used to rent my yacht back then. That's how I met him. So he was rich before the art, supposedly, when he was doing Wave Pop and he met his brother, Great, which we've talked about. Him and his father, Holton Buggs, are the MLM serial scammers, in my opinion, but also Holton Buggs is in a class action lawsuit with the CFTC right now, so you can look at the proof yourself. You don't take my word for it. He's delivered on anything he's promised me so far, but I have not heard anything about any victims. Your post is the first I've been made aware of any victim's existence. Professional man, comes off as intelligent, knowledgeable. He's answering my questions. He's being very forthcoming. I'm not getting any red flags from this guy. I'd sent him a voice memo about other people talking about how the cars are holding up. If you're keeping it in a garage, how does it look right now, a year, 2 years later? And he said, it's funny you bring that up. My dad brought up that the house paint falls off over time as you wash it, and that household paint needs a protective layer to fully protect it. But currently the car is wrapped, so the paint was thrown on the wrap, not the metal. It is stored climate controlled. The few months it wasn't in climate control though, dirt from the paint kind of ran onto the wrap and left some running dirt marks. I haven't tried hard to get off. I can send you some pics. He didn't send me any pics, but like we saw, there are pictures of the car where the paint is bubbling. He said it was dirty. Other people have said that as well. I didn't see that proof myself, obviously, but I've seen pictures. I've heard the people talk about it. So this doesn't sound like somebody who is doubling the cars in value, adding any value to them at all. He's actually costing these people more money. If they're happy and they like the paint job, sure, but is it worth it? Is it really adding anything to the car? No, cars are generally not appreciating assets. When you get into exotic cars like this and rarities and vintage, yes, they can go up in value, but his paint job and his reputation or lack thereof is not going to add any value to these cars. Even though this happened years ago and he's still painting cars, he's still to this day using Behr house paints, and people have said things to him. There's comments on the videos. Other victims have asked him directly if he uses Behr paints, and he says things like, yeah, so what, and paint is just a preference.
I'm gonna head to fucking Home Depot to go get some fucking paint. Home Depot, about to get some paint. About to go paint a fucking SVJ Lamborghini, $1 million Lamborghini, guys. She was like 5 different greens. So we're actually gonna have them make this blue right here. It's Vuitton blue. This is the blue I always use. Another one of my favorites, but this one is just as good. So it's all about preference of which one you use.
Then why do they make so many different kinds of paint? Paint is not about preference. It's also about performance. And when you actually are in the fine art world, you know that. The next example, this is the main example that I made this video for. This person that owned this vehicle that we're going to talk about next, we got in contact with each other. He really wanted to tell his story. This guy goes by the name of Outlaw Eskobar. I'm going to call him that. This man lived out of state, did not live in Florida. I'm going to let him speak because we did an interview, so we'll play that, but we're just going to talk really quick about it. We're going to make an edit so he can put an interview video on his channel as well. I'll put a link to that. I hope you guys go follow him. He also had to hire a car expert professional to restore the car who is involved in the interview. This was a S580 Mercedes, white, painted this with red and black paint, very distinct car. It had these really nice custom rims on it. He actually was driving this car around for a little bit in Miami as if it was his. According to Outlaw, he had this car. He got in contact with Artlanta. Artlanta pretty much pitched him this, I'm going to paint it, I'm going to sell it for you. That ended up never happening. He did paint this car live. At the time, the event went well. There was a lot of people. He got a lot of attention. As time went on, the car was deteriorating, being used, and Artlanta was not selling it. He actually did some damage to it and cost this person over $10,000 to restore it, fix it, get it into the condition it was in before he sent it to Artlanta just so he could sell it back to the dealership. There are posts too where, you know, at some point in time, Artlanta was eventually trying to sell the car. Let's watch this clip. It's funny to see how worked up people get about it, like it's such a big deal. And then you see Outlaw's daughter come in and throw a cup of paint on it, and she looks like a professional too. Super infantile. Anybody can throw the paint on cars. It's not that impressive. Just because he jumps a little bit in the air, it's a gimmick. It's a performance. Perfectly done.
You put a really good package together.
We have a clip that Artlanta posted back on his story. It's a clip from this person that most people probably know. He is on the show Shark Tank. His name is Damon. He is really a big supporter of the arts. At this time, obviously, was not aware of these allegations. He is now. I'm not sure how he feels about it. We're going to play this because this is one of the most, in my opinion, hard evidence that we have. Out of Artlanta's mouth himself, he says that his paint jobs double the vehicle or whatever it is in value, because here he's trying to talk about painting another one of the Shark Tank investors' planes. And this person obviously is very intelligent. I don't remember this other guy's name because I don't watch this show. I do know they don't support pyramid schemes and scammers and things like that. This guy is very obviously knowledgeable. He tells Artlanta, do not go near his plane. And Artlanta says that the jobs are permanent. We know that they are not. If they're done on a wrap, they're definitely not permanent. If they're done straight to the car, they're not permanent, because this car that he painted, the Mercedes, did not have a wrap on it. He painted directly onto the car.
I'm here having a good time. I dragged one of my buddies, Robert here.
Robert.
This is Artlanta. He's going to do this car. He does this beautiful live piece of art there. Robert pulled his jet up right behind the stage. Robert, are we going to get your jet done? We're going to do the jet. Do not touch my plane. All right, I got you, baby. He's my people. I got you. Now, does it come off?
No, it's permanent.
It's permanent?
Yeah, it's permanent. So you do it again.
Yo, Robert, it's permanent. I thought it came off. You sure you don't want your jet? It's going to up the value, really. It's going to up the value, really. It's going to double the value.
It's going to double the value.
Delusional.
And that Damon Shark Tank guy is trying to pitch to the other Shark Tank guy, Robert. He pulled up his jet over here. Hey, Robert, are we going to get your jet done? And he looks at Artlanta and says, don't touch my plane. And then Damon asks, is it permanent? And Artlanta says, yes, it's permanent. And then he reiterates that to Robert, and Robert says, then definitely don't go near my plane. And then there's a bunch of awkward laughter. Artlanta looks really uncomfortable, like he's been caught. This is how he acts when he can't prove or address anything. He just kind of laughs nervously out of it. He says that the job is permanent and it's going to double the plane in value. I think the Damon guy is just trying to play it off and not hurt his feelings. Those are really important claims. He claims that it's permanent and he claims it doubles the vehicle in value. We are proving right now that that is not true. This is how I first saw that this car and this owner had an issue. JTino, I just call him Tino, made some TikToks and some Instagram posts about the car because he is the person that got hired to restore this Mercedes. Let's watch his TikTok video before we watch the interviews, and we'll kind of go through it in the same order that I went through.
You ever been online and look at some shit and say like, damn, who the fuck pays for that crap? Well, here's one of those cars done by an artist called Artlanta. This is Artlanta's handiwork. I'll tell you this, bro. You made that paint stick pretty good. Imagine if you put a little bit of time into your work, you could actually go paint at like a Earlshire. Bro, stop doing this to cars, man. This is a beautiful car and you ruined it. And it's not worth anything, man. It's worth the views that you got and the messed up car that I now gotta fix. But hey, not gonna knock on your hustle. Just gonna let you know this shit sucks.
I could only imagine how this conversation went down. Hey, bro, I'm Atlanta. Let me do your car. I think in red and black. Yeah, what kind of style? You know, when you're driving down the freeway and you see a paint truck with a bunch of paint on it and you crash right into it? Say no more. That's it right there. I mean, could you imagine the thought process? What do I want to do here? I want to make it look like I ran through an animal.
Here he's just kind of using the cleaner and the water to imitate and mock what the performance was. Nailed it. Not that hard to impersonate that style, whatever you want to call it. And now here he is pressure washing, cleaning the car off. We'll hear him talk about it in the interview.
Well, that took forever and a day. There's painters out there that try super hard to make the paint stick as you make it stick. You could have a real career in the paint job industry. You just got to learn how to paint a little better.
And he did successfully get the car clean. But there was more work that had to be done. This wasn't all that had to be done. They had to replace the rims. Artlanta apparently ran into something and messed up the suspension, cracked a rim, did some real damage to the car. Didn't pay for it. Didn't apologize for it. He says, you know, the paint job is only worth the views you got. That is true. And the exposure and what are the content. But when you look into that, you realize that those views are not worth anything. We've already found out that half of his followers are not real, allegedly. He pays for the comments. He bribes people for the engagement. And even if that was authentic, views don't necessarily translate into anything. Like, yes, to other people on the internet, it looks like it has value, but views don't translate really to anything but views. Just because you get 100,000 views or a video goes viral, that doesn't promise anything. I have the interview with these guys on a Zoom call that I recorded. What I'm going to do here is I will edit and insert the interview without my commentary. We'll plug that in here and then I'll come back.
My name is Outlaw. I've been dealing with cars for a long time. I've been customizing and, you know, just dealing with a lot of custom cars for a long time. I'm a father. I breed dogs. So with this Artlanta thing, I was at my boy car shop, right? He has like a rap. He do raps and stuff. He was just like, man, bro, I need a car to use. I need a car to use. I'm like, a car to use for what? You got a Maybach. What you need a car to use for? He like, nah, I'm supposed to have this big event. And there's this girl out here that got a lot of cars and she do like magazines and stuff like that, right? So they was originally supposed to do her car. This company called Momentix. And Momentix is, I don't really know. It's just some company, really. It was actually a cool experience, to keep it real. It was because he like, I need a car to use because this girl not answering the phone. But he like, let me do the Bentley, because I had a Bentley Bentayga, but it had a wrap on it. He like, we wrapped it already, so once they paint on this car, we could take the wrap off and it's not going to be a big deal. But I did my research and I'm like, dang, this artist, this a real artist, and he kind of booming a little bit, right? So I'm like, I'm going to do the S580 because it got low miles. He going to actually put the paint on the real car, not a wrap. And it might be worth some money. This is what I thought. I brought him the S580. They had like a tailgating party for Hall of Fame players because they was doing the Super Bowl in Vegas. So it actually showed on the kickoff thing on the Super Bowl and all that. He was doing it. It was real tight. My daughter did it with him and all that, right? And it was real big event. So it was a cool experience, I'm not gonna lie. It's just that what he told me that it would be worth, shit, nobody bought it. Like what? It didn't get sold. I just sold it back to the dealer after I took all the paint off. So it wasn't bad. I'm not gonna sit here in front. It was free. It didn't bother me. It was free. It just at the end, when it was time to, okay, cash out my winnings on it, there was no winnings on it. It actually devalued because I had to, first I'm like, hey, bro, can you help me sell the car? But he did some famous people car. He did Kim Kardashian car. He did a 6ix9ine little rat. He did 6ix9ine car. He did some other people cars. So I'm like, he might really be able to sell this car. And it was free to me, so it didn't bother me really too much at that point. But I had the car. I kept the car garage for like over a year, 2 years, man. When was the Super Bowl here? That was 2024, wasn't it? In Vegas, yeah, that was 2024. So I had the car garage for over a year or whatever. But I always kept in contact with him here and there, you know, just chopping it up with him. He was a cool dude. I just think in my head that he just young, man, and he just trying to get in where he fit in. I don't know what his real intentions are, but all I know is what happened with me. What happened with me was I shipped the car here, and I'll take it to some art exhibits, Art Basel, and take it to all these big events, and I'm going to sell the car. I promise I'm going to sell the car for $400,000, $500,000. I'm like, shit, let's do it then. I paid $2,500 to ship the car there. It got there like 2 weeks later. He like, bro, I needed a new tire, but I bought the tire, put the tire on, no big deal. I ain't tripping. I'm like, all right, whatever. It got rims on it, so of course it probably did pop the tire, whatever. It's regular. That's normal stuff that I deal with cars every day, so I wasn't tripping off that. Then I was looking on my app, my Mercedes Me app, and I noticed, like, damn, he putting a lot of miles on my car because I shipped it to him and it had about 5,000 miles on it only. When I got the car back, 10,000 and something, 11,000 miles on it. Now, he put more miles on that car in 4 months than I put on it in 4 years. I had it since 2022, so 3 years. He put more miles on that car in 4 months than I put on it in 3 years. I noticed that it was getting a lot of miles. Then my mom, because it's registered to my mom's address, it was just kept getting tickets like not paying tolls. But I really wasn't tripping because they like $20, $25. I'm just paying them. I'm not tripping, but now it's starting to get annoying because you like, oh, bro, I got a ticket for no registration. I'm like, I didn't even know. Like, the car been gone, so I didn't really pay attention to registering the car. So I registered the car, like, for the re-registration. I registered the car, sent them the tags and all that stuff. I never heard nothing back from him, and then he like, I got this dude that could do, like, a raffle on the car, so like a giveaway. But when you do it that way, people are buying the raffle tickets. So he like, you can make $1 million on the car with saying some stuff like that. I'm like, shit, I ain't tripping. Just give me 300. You and that dude split. Do whatever you do. I don't care. I need to sell the car. Got in this contract with buying this new house, and shit, the car gotta go now. After a while, it's like, damn, the car been there 3-4 months, but I'm looking at the location. It's never moved for like 2 months now. So in the first 2 months, he put all the miles on the car. So then the car never moved for like at least a month and a half, 2 months, right? So I'm like, man, I'm gonna just ship my car back, bro, and I'm gonna just take all that paint off probably and sell it to the dealer. So I got the car back. The paint that he put on it bubbled up like from the sun, messed all up. So now I really got to take it off because it's messed up. It came off the tow truck on flat. The rim is cracked. The rim got a flat spot on it, like he just hit something real big. It's normal. I'm not tripping off that. That's regular. But why you didn't tell me that? You put it on the tow truck on flat with a broken rim. Why you didn't tell me that? I could have sent the money to repair the rim. I'm not tripping. That's normal because it's on rims with low profile tires, you know? But the car got spider webs all under it, just been abandoned. Paint is like bubbled, like from boiled, like from being in the sun, not doing nothing. Super dirty, like an inch of dirt on it. The worst part than that was the suspension was messed up. It's still under warranty. So I was going to go get the suspension fixed. But when I took it to the dealer, they just bought the car like that. So it's like, whatever. It's just a simple fact of the negligence. You never told me nothing about it. How you didn't hear that? You driving the car. Like, bump, 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 something with the suspension. How did that even happen? I really don't know what happened. It's a new car, so how did the suspension get like that? But it's still under warranty. They was going to fix it. I had took the rims off because they broke, messed all up. Every rim scratched all up. The one front left rim broke, tire on flat. 2 tires was on flat, actually. So now I shipped the car back another $2,500. So now I hit him like, damn, bro, you can't help me fix the damages or whatever. He's like, bro, it came like that. How it came like that? And you've been driving the car. You put 5,000 miles on the car with it's on flat. How? There's no way. The car, I never drove it. I just never drove it like that. I just had it garage kept ever since he painted it. Cause I'm thinking in my head, I got a prized possession. It was a scam in my head. Me, I'm not a person that just like, I always see the good or the good intentions in a person, which he might not have bad intentions. He just bullshit, really, to keep it real. I haven't really talked to him since, and I sold the car to the dealer. It's gone. What really kind of had me like curious about the situation is because before all that, I tried to sell it in like this car rumby, and it's like where they have like exclusive cars and exclusive art pieces and stuff, like an auction. They didn't even accept it in the auction. So they like, who is he? I don't hate nobody. Like, pretty much that's what they said. But he befriended me. He was cool, but it just like, to what extent? To your benefit, really. You just got to drive my car around, making videos in it, making music videos in it and stuff like that. When he painted the car, he wrote my Instagram name on the back of it too. I had a lot of people from Miami hitting me up, like, oh, I seen your car at the club. I was just hitting you up. That's a cool car. I'm like, damn, man, nobody told him to drive my car in no club. You don't got a car. That's what I was thinking. But then 1.2, I had went to Miami. Hey, bro, I'm gonna be out there this weekend. I already had told him like about at least 10 days in advance. I'm gonna be out there this weekend. Let me use my car. But when I got out there, I never really got in touch with him, never got the car. The day before I got there, he like, yeah, I'm supposed to get the flat tire fixed tomorrow or something. I don't remember exactly, so don't quote me what happened, but I never got the car when I came out there. Never seen him, never seen the car. Oh, we're going to go to the club. I'm going to bring a lot of girls and we'll do never nothing. So I never got to use my own car when I went out there.
Dang. So a total of what would you think? Close to 10 grand in debt / damages?
Yeah, probably around that much. Cause the rim, I took the rim off. It's on the side of my house right now. It's broke. 12,000 for those rims total. So one rim is probably like 3 grand.
Wow.
And the tire is about 350. Then you got all them tolls, them tickets. Then I pay at least 5 grand shipping it there and back. Not to mention, I paid Tino probably about 3 grand to take the stuff off the car. Already tried to take the stuff off the car myself. Took all night long just to get a little bit off of the pressure washer. So yeah, I was pretty deep in debt with that car, messing with that dude.
You went to the event. Do you remember what he was using as far as the paints?
Put the paint in the cup. He jump and do a spin move and throw it on the car. It was actually tight experience though, honestly. I can't even sit here in front, but it was a gimmick. He probably think that his paint worth that much. He really believed that, but I don't see it because I never seen it. I never got paid that much for it. He let my daughter paint on it too. It was actually a cool experience, and it didn't cost me nothing. I just thought I had this masterpiece at home. I didn't. That's what it was.
He does a really good job of being really charming and really friendly. A lot of the people that go into business with him and fall for it are actually pretty legitimate.
Like with my situation, it wasn't me. It was Momentix. But they're the ones who was like doing some type of promotion thing with him, and my car just ended up being the car that they used. So it's like I didn't get ripped off for what. I had a good experience. They told me they was going to take me and my kids to the Super Bowl though. We watched it at a fight party. A Super Bowl party. It was cool. I had a cool experience. It just, the monetary value of it just wasn't there.
That's why you do it to begin with. If somebody came to you and said, hey, this is going to be a really cool experience. Your name is going to be on the back of the car. Down the road, you're not going to get anything and you're going to have to pay out. You would not have done it.
Exactly my point. Exactly that right there. I wouldn't have done that because you ruined my car, really. Paint was all in between the door jambs and stuff. He spent a lot of time taking that stuff off that car, man.
I remember him telling me that he had a really fun time, right? Why not just sell the damn experience? Why not have this company, they could wrap the car in the cheap clear wrap, do the whole paint thing, sell the experience. And if a client wants to keep it, the art piece is on the car. And if they don't want to keep it, they can just rip that wrap right off. It's a win-win for everybody.
Exactly my point. If he would have did it in that fashion, it would be different. But you put it on my real paint. Me thinking that you putting it on my real paint will make the car worth for real value, but it wasn't. So I can't sit here in front. The experience was super dope, super. But it just like at the end, it was a headache. It was a hassle. It was just, and then you put all the miles on my car. I don't see why.
That really doesn't justify it either. Having the experience and connections and maybe people following you on social media and things like that. Yes, that's almost like a default. That should have come with it regardless, but that's not what you went into it for. You didn't pay to have an experience.
Nah,
Friends.
I went in it because they told me it's gonna be worth money. He told me, and then let me tell you something too. So when I was at the actual event, while he was painting the car, some dude actually did offer me money for the car. He like, no, don't take it, because something to the nature of like, my art hasn't been appraised yet. Once it gets appraised, this car will be worth this X amount of dollars. I never got no X amount of dollars, negative amount of dollars.
He likes to play this like, oh, I know what I'm talking about. Art is art. If you like it, you like it. As if there's no technical side to it, as if there's no legal side to it. That's why I asked about the paint. Other videos, you see him going to Home Depot and he's saying to the camera that paint is about preference. Now, I know in what I work in, paint is not about preference. I know what you guys work in, paint is not about preference, because if that were the case, then I could paint a car with watercolor paint. There is function, there's purpose to it. That's why they make so many different kinds of paints. And when we're talking about cars and metal and enamel and elements and things like that, I don't have to explain it to you guys. You can't pick the wrong paint to paint your car. He uses Behr house paints.
Is that what that was?
Definitely house paint, but the parts that messed up the car the worst. Honestly, Russ, if like the car would have stayed in your garage and you got fed up with it and brought it to me, as a matter of fact, some of it probably would have been really bad, like the jams and stuff that got onto the plastic on the inside. But what happened is the sun baked it into the paint.
That was the problem. Yeah, that was the problem. So when he left the car out in the, I know he left it out in the sun. It had too much dust and spider webs on it, and the paint was like.
How I knew it was out in the sun for a long time, man. All the calcium deposit that you had on your glass, I ran a razor through the entire glass because I was trying to figure out how. Now I didn't know that he actually took it and did that, right? But there was a ridiculous amount of calcium deposit on your glass. And you only get that from the car being rained on and being out of the elements.
I have kind of noticed that with other cars. The car owners don't really want to talk to me, but there are some people who would say things to me in DMs. And one guy that had his car painted said the same thing. He said his father initially said, do not let him paint your car. He's using a house paint. And they do store their car in a garage. So he said his is relatively in good shape. But let's also be honest. He's only been painting cars for a few years.
Yeah, no. His was like that. It was cleaned up, but you can tell in the jams. But when it was going into certain areas, in the jams and areas that you usually don't keep clean or super clean, I can see that. I at least thought that he'd clean the whole car, but now you're telling me he just goes right over dirt.
Off and just throw paint on it. When you're doing that stuff, you have to treat that stuff. So you have to put some type of clear over it or some type of clear bra wrap or something over it. I'm not going to sit here and say that's his job to do that. That's my job to do that, but that's your job to educate me on that.
That could be a matter of opinion or if Tino wants to weigh in. But me as an artist, that's part of the job. That's like me finishing a painting and not framing it and not varnishing it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I agree. I agree with that. That should be part of the job. Cleaning should be part of it. Look, man. All right, let's just say his art is worth a damn, right? If it is worth a damn, why wouldn't you prep the surface that you're putting your art on to be able to withstand at least
That's
over
true.
a damn year, right? And if he really was about his shit, let's say the first 3 cars were crap, right? You learn from your mistakes. All right, man, I'm getting solvent pop on all my paint. Maybe I'll throw a little bit lighter coats or a little bit smaller drips. You can correct as you go and still be an artist that does crazy, stupid paint like that. It's not my thing, but like you auto correct as you go. Like you don't want solvent pop in the paint. It looks like ass. You want to change it up. He just doesn't care. I can tell by the way that he does it and the quality of the paint and the preparation that he's doing it for clicks, likes, views, and money. There's no art there. This had no flow at all. I've seen splatter art. I've seen people do splatter art, and it still has some sort of a flow. This was drips. Like There was a show. I watched the things, him jumping around, and everybody's getting hyped up. He knows what colors to pick. I'll give him that. All the cars that I've seen, I wouldn't use those colors, but if you're trying to get some attention, he definitely knows what colors to pick. But as far as an artist, I don't see any art. I've been trying to follow some of the stuff that he's done, and even with the companies that he's done business with, he's screwed them over. There was a company that built a huge sculpture for him, and they were supposed to do a collab, and he ended up taking the sculpture and putting it in his house. That's crazy, because that's exactly what happened to you, except yours was a car. I don't think it's an art thing for him. I think it's money, and eventually it's going to catch up. And how it catches up, I don't know, but eventually the hustle's going to be over. I mean, I'm not knocking on the fact that he learned how to make money. There's a bunch of different ways. If he's going to just call it a hustle, it is what it is. But don't call yourself an artist. That's crazy. And then to tell people that their car is going to be worth a damn, that's just straight hustle.
Yeah, it is what it is. Be honest about it. If that's what you're going to do and you don't think you're doing anything wrong, then why don't you talk to people? Why is it so hard to talk to you? Why is it so hard for you to answer? For instance, if Outlaw were to hit him up today and say, yo, man, I just want to talk about what happened with my car. What typically is going to happen, what he's done with other victims, is he turns it around.
The conversation. Yeah, exactly what he do. Yeah. He spin the conversation, talk in circles, and then disappear. He will respond, but he gonna talk you in circles, spin the conversation. He got a lot of game. I ain't gonna lie. He got a lot of game, man. That's what he do got. He gonna twist you up to make you think, damn, I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping.
Did you ever ask him flat out about the registration, the tickets? Did you have any type of contract?
Nah, because in my head, it was like a friendship basis thing. So I didn't, said I trusted him. What could I lose? Then I lost. I did tell him about the tickets, and he did honestly say that I could Apple Pay you, but I wasn't tripping because $20, so I ain't tripping, whatever.
Yeah, but it adds up.
Exactly. It kept adding up. It's still adding up. My mom still got another ticket. Like, sent me a picture of a ticket like 3 days ago.
I didn't realize that whole time that that wasn't his car. I believe he was telling people that that was his car. I have video of when he did this. He did the Nike shoe thing at a shoe store. He painted a bunch of Nikes and he did like a shoe release. Obviously was not official with Nike. He went to that event in your car. He drove it. He was drinking at the event. He was literally double fisting. He made a video of it, giving him his drink, saying, I'm here, I'm double fisting. Shout out to my guy, who was the bartender.
Yo, I just pulled up and I'm already double fisting. Shout out to my guy. Yes, sir, we about to get litty.
A few stories later, after the event was over, we see him walking to his car with his friends, and he's driving the car, and the people in the car were making videos about it. The one guy sitting in the back seat had his drink in the car, and he put the caption in the story, drinks on the go. Great. He can be nice to one person and still scam another person at the same time.
But he's so cold, he'd be nice to you and scam me.
How long did it take you to fix the car?
16 hours, like 16 hard hours, yeah. Where the paint was actually baked in, I had to go in with chemicals. So I had to make a chemical solution that wouldn't mess up the paint, would still strip the paint that he put on, but not strip the paint off the car. I had to wash the car like 4 or 5 times, just back and forth, back and forth. The paint is actually still all over my shop. When I was taking out, it was really, really hot. I was trying to clean it in my booth, but because the paint got hot already, it got rock solid in the booth. So I actually had to clean it outside so the paint would kind of soften the paint, the sun. And then I hit it. So I just worked outside. All that stuff is all over my driveway. Getting up, I'm probably just going to leave it.
That stuff is all over my driveway too.
He could have bought automotive paint. And here's the cool part about the automotive paint. If he does what he did, he wouldn't get any of the solvent pop because it would not go on thick. It would be, even if you dripped it, you just thin it out and you can go with a squirt bottle and do what he wanted to do. And it would still take a long time, but you wouldn't need to use a razor blade at all. You'd be able to do the whole thing with a detergent and some sort of a solvent and clean it all up, right? because it's a thin layer of paint, even though it's very, very thick paint as far as the color, the saturation. The actual paint itself is very thin, so it's not translucent. The pixels are very aggressive. So if he would do that, he'd be able to have it all dried and ready to go within 30 minutes. Everything would be drying as he goes, but he's using a latex or enamel-based paint, which is already thick by itself. It's designed to go on with a roller onto walls. It's stupid. I can see him doing it the first 2 or 3 cars. And I know that this isn't the first time that he's been told that he's doing it wrong. He could have said, you know what, maybe I am doing it wrong. Let me look at some stuff so my art lasts. But he doesn't care that it lasts. I can see by the way that he did his prep work, he could have gotten 3/4 inch tape and ran the tape all over the jams on the car evenly. And then after he was done, ripped everything off. It would look like a canvas on each panel. It would look beautiful. I mean, that's still not my type of artwork, right? But it would look like an actual painting that somebody took time to prep and do the things that were supposed to be done. And it would have looked a lot nicer than what he's been doing. The way that he's doing it, house paint is what? For a quart is $25. He buys like 3 or 4 different colors. He spends $100. If I paint a car, it costs me about $5,000 in materials. Even cheap car paint is more expensive than house paint. So it's not a quality thing. It's not an art thing. It's a money grab, which again, everybody has their hustle. I can't knock on the dude. Like the dude's making money selling crap, right? And the way he does it is he gets these really, really cool cars, you know, like Outlaw is going to do. And he can show this off to somebody else and actually have these people pay, right? He's like, look, this guy let me do it on this $100,000 car. And then it's a crazy, crazy money grab. You can't really knock on him for it. He found a hustle that's kind of legal. It just sucks that kind of celebrities are in on it. There's no way the celebrities aren't in on it.
I'm really glad that you said all this because I wanted the expert feedback on the paint. The problem with it is, and this is what I've said from the beginning, because people will be like, yeah, you're just hating. Hating would be talking about my personal preference. I don't care to knock on his hustle with the cars. If that was legit and everyone likes it and there's no victims and everyone's happy, then there isn't a problem. It doesn't matter if I like it or not. Yes, that's art. That's the opinion part of it. But like you're saying, when it comes into the technicalities of you're painting a car, you're using paint that's supposed to stay, you're supposed to prep it, you're supposed to finish it, you're supposed to use the right supplies. That would be the difference of this car is going to double in value versus this car is going to be worth nothing. We kind of can knock on him because the thing is he's using people like Outlaw, tries not to scam people who have some kind of following, who have some kind of clout that he can ride off of because that makes him look legit. Look at Outlaw's car I just did at Super Bowl. Well, you know what he does is he uses those stories on innocent artists to say that he's making money selling crap. I haven't even been able to prove that he's selling anything besides the lie. He's selling opportunities to people that don't really exist. I don't even know where the legal hustle part of it is.
Do you have a real job?
I don't think he thinks there's anything wrong with what he's doing. Oh, well, you know what, man? There's people that just like to lie to themselves too. Yeah. Be a super, super good liar. I mean, it already seems that way. He talks to you. He changes the conversation. He pretends that he's like a fake nice person. I can't stand people like that. They use their niceness in order to get away with things, but it kind of feels like a butchered down West Coast customs type thing. Car scene, everybody wants the newest thing. And if you can't keep up as a shop, which I don't even keep up anymore, I'm a different type of shop now, but you kind of just go down. If you're not willing to do all the crazy stuff. I remember when all the crazy stupid paint started, I just wasn't willing to do that. It wasn't my style. And what this guy's doing is it's a cool concept. And he has a really, really good business idea somewhere in there. And if he changes his setup a little bit, he could have something. But he's already messed up his name. Nobody's gonna. After a while, he's gonna die out just like everything else.
100% true what you said. He had plenty of opportunities. It's not his first car. It's not his first year doing it. He has been told many, many times. He's not actively trying to get better. He doesn't think there's anything wrong.
He could take this interview, be like, all right, you know, I really thought that I was doing it good. Let me go take a course on painting. And even at worst case scenario, he uses like a vinegar based degreaser and wipes the whole car down to where there's nothing on it, does his paint work, lets it dry, and then waxes it. As long as the client keeps it waxed, it's going to be just fine. And you can tell, hey, man, you got to keep it waxed. He's not doing any of that. I paint my clients' cars and I let them know exactly what they need to do or not do when it's fresh paint. So, I mean, I take the time to do that. He's literally doing one car every month, maybe, if that. He could take the dime to figure some shit out.
How would somebody typically mess up a suspension?
That one, he probably ran over a speed bump hella hard, bro. Like that dude.
Yeah, he had to hit something because that's how the rim got cracked. So you had to hit a pothole or something super hard.
Makes me wonder how long that tire was flat and he just decided I'm not going to do anything about that.
It had to been flat for a long time because every time I look at the location of the car, it was sitting right there for at least a month.
He damages some really, really valuable property.
That's not a cheap Mercedes. That is a collector's item Mercedes. It was really sad working on the car because it is a very beautiful car.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys both so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Now that we've watched the interview, we have one more specific example. There is a auction site called bringatrailer.com. They just recently tried to auction one of Artlanta's cars. This is the car that is owned by Alex Gonzalez. A lot of people, including CoffeeZilla and Spencer Cornelia, have been covering him, exposing him. You can look into him yourself, but he's well known. Another one of these get rich quick type of influencers. In my opinion, that's how I look at him. I think he's just another investment type of scammer. All these people are kind of the same. It's just an example. He has one car that he had Artlanta paint, and this car also had a wrap on it. It is a Rolls Royce. They had it auctioned on the Bring a Trailer site hosted by the Barn Miami. It did not sell. There was a reserve on it, estimated value a couple years ago, around $416,000. The highest bid capped out at $141,000. This car was in perfectly fine condition, had low miles. If his paint job is supposed to double the car in value, then why didn't you auction it for $800,000? The auction first went up and I kind of scrolled through it. This is a BAT Essentials. It kind of gives a summary, a 2016 Rolls-Royce Dawn painted by Artlanta. The description says this 2016 Rolls-Royce Dawn was painted in 2023 by Artlanta, the Florida-based artist and musician. The car has a $77,000 specification and it has 38,000 miles on it. This Dawn is offered on dealer consignment with a window sticker copy, owner's manual, clean Carfax report, and removed factory set of wheels with tires and a clean Florida title in the owner's name. There's no reason why this car wouldn't have its full value. The window sticker copy lists factory colors, equipment, a total suggested retail price of $416,850. They include the Carfax report, a healthy amount of pictures, very detailed, very thorough listing. We're gonna watch a TikTok video that Artlanta posted himself of him actually painting this car. So it looks like Alex G bought this car in 2023 and had it painted that same time. Here is a screenshot of how I first found out about this. He posted on his story, it looks like a text with one of his friends, and it's a link to the auction. We just went live on the auction. That looks like that's his friend telling him, like, hey, the auction's live. He posted this on his story, and he added the caption, "We live. We're gonna get at least 500K. This screenshot shows 7 days later, they got 156 comments. The highest bid was $141,000, reserve not met, and that ended on September 1st. There was a total of 42 bids. We'll go through some of the comments to kind of see overall what people think. It's interesting to look at a comment section on something that is about Artlanta or his work when comments are not fully censored. Now, if the comments were not related to the car or about the auction, they did get deleted. The site did censor, but in all fairness, they have their rules about the commenting, about the listings. They tell you to keep it related to the car and to keep it relevant. There's a lot of car experts in here. There's a lot of people that are very active on this site and in the car world. You can go to this auction yourself. I'll put the link in the description. If you find a comment section on a video or content that is not posted by Artlanta and or his friends directly, you're going to see a lot more negative comments and people not liking the art. it's very obvious that this supports how he censors and controls his content, because his YouTube channel and his Instagram and his TikTok, you don't see these kind of comments because he blocks and deletes those. But here we can kind of see that most people do not value or like his work. I'm just going to skim through some of the screenshots I took. Have you ever removed a wrap? I have. No guarantee it wouldn't damage the paint. And they were right. It did. This one, it's a wrap, it peels off, no need to repaint, maybe just remove the wrap and relist, in my opinion. There are comments mixed in here where people are trying to stick up for him, but these people are obviously not knowledgeable. They're coming from just like a personal preference, and they maybe don't know a lot about art or cars. It's a wrap, it peels off, but the experts in here are saying, have you ever tried to remove it? It damages the paint. It takes a long time, not worth it. Whether he's painting directly on a car or not, still costing people money, still a lot of time and money to get the car back to where it could actually be worth something, unless they like the paint job, which I found out that every person that bid on this car were pretty much planning to restore it as well and resell it. It gives people a flip opportunity. It's almost like a foreclosure house, but he's not providing something that is going up in value, or the people that own the car or pay for the car, they're not really getting anything out of it. They're just letting their friend paint it and get some hype. They're not getting anything. He really is scamming like his friends and everyone else, in my opinion, after being able to look at this type of stuff and figure this out. Another person said, I think if the wrap was off, it would sell. And that was somebody that bid on it. This one, the math is pretty simple here. This car plus cost to restore to an acceptable condition is greater than the cost of no stories car. And it will be exponentially worse if a miracle doesn't happen to prevent the paint damage when the wrap's removed. Then you are talking about a car with paintwork, which makes the math even worse. The only hope was to find someone who just had to have it and thinks the mods are a valuable ad. But that might require an even bigger miracle than the wrap removal. I agree. Somebody said, not the best painter indeed. Bring it back to the original. It's in a decent deal at that point. Y'all over here complaining about art like your opinion matters. Art will always have its detractors, but someone out there will love this. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Right. The proof of that, you can say that, and that may be fundamentally true, but like to actually prove that would be showing us that someone bought the car for that much, which no one did. It didn't meet the reserve. No one wanted his car. The only people that bid on it were people that wanted an opportunity to restore it and make some money. No one wanted it like that. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder, yes, but apparently no one found it beautiful enough. Another comment from a bidder. Telegram 67676 Western Union office received. Dearest Artlanta, stop. Regarding your work on the Rolls Royce, stop. Seriously, stop. Having some fun with this. Seller, I will be a bidder. So this person did bid, but they didn't like the paint job. They were trying to restore it too. How much does it cost to take the wrap off? That was another person that bid, planning to restore the car. The orange acrylic paint is in the door, trunk, engine compartment, door jambs. It's on the belt line trim, mirror gaskets, exhaust tips, at least one wheel, and even on the third brake light lens, which is filled with condensation. The gas door handle gaskets, door gaskets, and the hood-mounted rubber gasket all have paint on them. I doubt this will be returned to original condition due to the parts listed and the labor, and likely the best use would be as an exotic rental for influencers, music videos, and others, I agree, who would like to present themselves as billionaires. Unlikely, genuine, high net worth individuals would want this attention. I'm glad this person pointed that out. We'll go through the pictures. Hard to look at, especially when you're an art and a car enthusiast. Pre-war fan base certainly is in attendance with this auction, hey? Sounds like Gen Z, and that's been on this earth for maybe 20 years. This car is on point. Screw the establishment, and it's a wrap, so settle down. Regardless, you see 400K wakeboard boats with way louder graphics, and everyone's like, that's awesome. But when someone adds flair to a Rolls, it's, oh no, what would the deceased queen think? You're weird. Car looks great and doesn't blend in like most Rolls do. At least this one screams new money and not geezer like most do. Okay, so settle down. I mean, the fact that you have to say that shows people are in agreement that this car is not worth anything. To bring up the comparison of the wakeboard boats, not the same thing. The reason people like the loud graphics and everyone says it's awesome is because of the performance of the boat. It's what the boat's able to do. It's the wake it's able to create. It's the speed. It's the sound. The boat's not about the graphics. The boat is about performance and what it can do. Totally different. Let's put in this. Artlanta posted this around the same time that this car was auctioned. And him and his 19-year-old girlfriend, he's 30 years old, posted a TikTok and it says POV, she bought you your dream car. It's them inside of this Rolls Royce making content pretending that his girlfriend bought him this car. And then we see it go on auction.
You are a moron!
I get it that influencers think that this is cool to be like, it's satire. We're just making content. It's just for fun. It's just a joke. They don't value integrity, honesty, transparency. As long as they're getting clicks and views, oh, it's harmless. The longer that goes on, longer that's normalized, the more likely it is for these people to know where the boundary is of where do you stop lying? Where do you tell the truth? To portray this, especially someone like Artlanta saying stuff like, I was dirt poor and now I paint on G-Wagons. Okay, yeah, but like you're giving people this false hope and you're pretending to be this idol. You can be just like me. I did it too, but you didn't do it. You're just lying about it. There are so many more comments. I could go through that whole strand of comments. The majority of them are very critical and very accurate, in my opinion. Go look at them for yourself. We're going to look through some of the pictures. You can see the paint literally in the door jambs. He didn't tape the car off properly. He didn't prepare it properly. It's in the cracks of the mirror, gas tank gasket, as the other person had said. If you look really closely at some of these, it's just like T-Mac's Lamborghini. There's bubbles in it peeling off. There's dirt. This specifically on the back of the car, the rear light having condensation, you can tell this car had been outside because not only can you tell from this paint that it bubbled up, but the bubbles popped. And so there's like 2 layers. It's peeling in circles. That looks absolutely horrific. That's embarrassing.
Fuck the cops, fuck the law, fuck the system, fuck all them niggas.
The last thing we're gonna do is just go through a little bit of what I call supporting evidence, just the loose ends that tie into this. One of the things that has been mentioned multiple times, Artlanta uses latex house paints from Behr to paint these cars. Completely unacceptable. We all know that that's not the right paint to be using. He knows that's not the right paint to be using. Just to pull up some stuff on that topic, if you just do some Google searches, it's generally the same thing. Automotive paints are designed with specific properties to resist UV rays, scratches, and solvents, which Behr paints do not have. Adhesion. Behr paint may not properly adhere to a car's metal surface without extensive preparation, leading to peeling issues. He doesn't care. He wants to put in the least amount of money. He never sells the cars anyway. So none of it really makes sense, but to continue to use the latex paint is just mind-blowing. If you want to paint your car, always use dedicated automotive paint from a reputable auto paint supplier. While technically you can paint a car with Behr paint, it is strongly discouraged. It is not designed for automotive use and will not hold up to the elements and wear and tear a car experiences, making it a poor choice for a long-lasting paint job. You should always use dedicated automotive paint when painting a car. It's not like that's impossible for him to do. He can get the proper paint, especially if you're a millionaire and you're increasing a $400,000 car's value. Why would you continue to use the wrong paint? Why Behr paint's not suitable for cars? Durability. Behr paint's formulated for home surfaces like walls, not harsh conditions a car faces, which means it will chip, fade, and peel much faster. This is all just information accessible on the internet. Can I paint my car with house paint? If you have some extra house paint lying around, save it for the next time your walls need a touch-up. Do not use it on your car. Wall paint isn't formulated to bond with metal, so not only will the result look awful, but it won't last and it may end up damaging your car. While you can use paint meant for homes on your car after a primer is applied, you likely wouldn't want to. Home paints will peel faster, take longer to dry, and won't offer the same quality finish as car paint. I do have a recorded phone call with Behr. I just called and basically asked, can I use this house paint I have on my car? This gentleman who worked for Behr was very helpful. You can hear for yourself.
Yeah, hi, Aaron. I just had a question. I'm wanting to know about if I can apply a Behr paint. If I can apply that to metal, like if I can paint a car with that.
Okay, I see. So I can definitely help here. To answer your question, our products unfortunately are not designed for automotive use. Unfortunately, it's not the type of product that you would want to use. It's not going to be durable enough. You'll notice that it does fail or chip or peel from the surface. Unfortunately, all of the products that we make would not be for automotive use.
You guys don't have any type of paint that would be for metal? Is that what you're... Which is fine. I'm just kind of trying to do my research.
Got it. So we do have paint that would work for metal. But metal specifically for, on a car, unfortunately, we wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Oh, do you know specifically why that is? Would it just not stick? What if I primed the car?
It really is because automotive paint is designed in a way for it to be durable. It'll dry to a very hard finish. You'll notice that if you do apply it, it most likely will adhere, but over time it'll start to chip and peel, not like an actual automotive paint would do. You'll notice that it chips or peels a lot sooner. The coating isn't going to be, this being for use in an interior home, it's not going to be as hard as you need it for a car.
I thought that, but I wanted to hear it from you guys directly just to make sure.
Yeah, definitely. Now I do know that they do make, for instance, you could go like AutoZone or different places like that. They do make an automotive paint that you can pick up in a can like that.
Perfect. All right.
Well, take care.
So that's kind of the call. Everything that we've collected and gone through today really just supports that the cars are not doubling in value. Generally, people don't think that they have a value, and the people that do buy them end up fully restoring them so that they are able to make some money, resell it, keep the value of the vehicle, whatever the case may be. In my opinion, the painting of the cars that Artlanta does are scams. The people that are giving him money or letting him paint the car for free are coming out at a loss. There's other things that go into that make the car depreciate, but the claims that he's making of the cars doubling in value, paint jobs being permanent, these things are not true. As time goes on, we're going to find that the people that own these cars are going to find out the hard way that they lost a bunch of money. It's not any type of investment. The only people that probably are not going to suffer a loss are people that value Artlanta's paint jobs and they like the car and they want to drive it that way and they want to keep it that way. If you're one of those people, put a top coat on your car, keep it climate controlled, keep it in a garage, take care of it as best you can, because if not, you're going to end up like these other people. Maybe you were scammed. So in my opinion, the cars are a scam. I would not let him paint one of my cars for free. I wouldn't pay him to do it. I wouldn't trust that he's able to sell it. If you remember the interview with Outlaw, there was other things that went into that. He ran a bunch of tickets up. He destroyed the car, caused damage. Outlaw had to pay to register the car because Artlanta was using it. He left it baking out in the sun, pretty much abandoned it when he ruined the car and could not drive it anymore, and then never paid a dime back, never apologized. So that ended up being a pretty bad deal. I hope that doesn't end up happening to other people. I hope you enjoy the video. Come back for the next one. The next deep dive I'm going to make will be on artist coaches, mentorships, and fake courses. Subscribe, like, comment. What do you guys think of the cars? Sound off in the comments. Let me know. We'll talk there. Come back for the next video. Thank you guys so much.